Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at some more Street Fighter. This time we're taking a look at Cammy here. Very exciting release, at least for me. I really love the character. Her and Guile, which I haven't been able to get Guile yet either, but finally got her. She was on discount on Amazon, so that's always good. Packaging, as we've always seen, and I just noticed on the site here they give a little brief info on her, at least where she comes from. Country of origin, England, fighting style, Shadalu, fighting techniques. I don't know what that means. There's a little product image on the back, her name again with the flag, all the different characters. I believe, what's his name, Blanca is already hitting shelves. I've seen DJ, and I think Sagat is also out there now. So there's a lot of figures coming out. I really just want Blanca and Guile, E-Honda when they get to him, and Vega once they get to that guy. Maybe Sagat. I do like Sagat, but we'll see if I can actually find him. And yeah, so I have him, Bison. I still need a Ryu. I have Ken. I have Chun-Li. I have Dualism. So yeah, I just have a few so far. But yeah, I'm being very selective with the ones I get. There's a side, this side, and there's the figure, again, the arcade sort of machine thing. Just crack into it and get her out of the box, and let's take a closer look. I love the packaging, but I always hate that there's so much tape and stuff just all around this thing. I never know how to open it correctly. So let me struggle with that, and then we'll cut back to the figure. Alright, I've set her free, and I just wanted to talk about the background that they always include with these. So this is a nice sort of background. There's some mountains and stuff, a nice little village, in case you want to use that for display or pictures. But we have a figure here, and you already see she's missing, what would you call these? Pigtails? Ponytails? I don't know. But it plugs right back in, and she's looking awesome. I think same amount of accessories, excuse me, like we've had before. Starting off here, we do have 2 extra hands, sort of palm hitting hands, or saluting hands, whichever one you prefer. But yeah, more like karate chopping and sort of expressive hands. So that's cool to see, and they all hinge horizontally in and out as such. But yeah, there's this one. The fingers are laid out different. This one's in and this one's sticking out, so you can see that right there. Very, very nice, and you get fingernail sculpted on it, so that's very cool. You get an alternate screaming head sculpt, which is looking pretty cool. You get some of that sort of camo, or is that a scar? I think that's a scar that she just has. So it looks cool. Screaming, very nice. You have a little, like, is that supposed to be a earring? No, I think that's just paint rub on the ear. You have her little cap there. And then here you have the pigtails, which again, they swivel on these pegs that are on there, so you can move them and display them. You know, go with the motion, go with the flow. The hairpiece is also different. This one hangs down like that. This one's more expressive, moving with the wind kind of thing. And for our final piece, we have this sort of kick accessory, I believe. It goes into her foot. I think you just gotta kind of play with it and try to match the shape. But yeah, that goes in there. That's one of her techniques. You know, she goes up into the air and then kicks downward, and it looks very cool. A nice translucent yellow with some like just clear like white at the front. Looks very cool. Can't wait to pose that. Now, the only thing I'm noticing is they do not have a base, any kind of base. I mean, for every other character, for the most part, we've seen some type of base to support them or support the accessory. Even though it does have a hole there that you can plug something into, but I did not see any kind of base. To quickly demonstrate, these are the bases I'm talking about, you know, for the effects. But if you can interchange them, I guess you could make that work. But then this is too small to really balance her out. I'll give it a try and I'll take a picture if I can balance it. But I guess if you already have others, you can just swap them out. Maybe they just didn't want to include one. I can't see one for the life of me, so I don't know if I dropped it somewhere or something, but no base included for the effect or for the character overall. With that being said, those are the accessories. Move those aside, and we get the figure itself. Looking rather nice. Again, articulation wise, we might as well jump into it. These are rotatable, so you can display as you want, and you did see they do pop out pretty easily, but they also stay in there pretty well. This side stays on there. I don't know, it's just this side that pops off easier than the other. Slight imperfection with mine, she has this sort of crack on her boob, and so that's a bit unfortunate because it would be great if it was just super clean and whatnot. And then you have this same crack up here towards the neck. I haven't seen other reviewers or really a lot of photography with her. I mean, I have, but I haven't paid close attention to that, so I'll do a little more research and see if anybody else experienced that. But yeah, right on her boob is a bit unfortunate, and not much on the back. But yeah, articulation wise, she can look up pretty well. Pretty good. Down, not so much. I think Chun-Li can get a little more range. Then she does have great pivoting in there. Arms go out about that much. Pretty good. There's no butterfly joint. I don't think Chun-Li had it either, but arms at a T-pose, that's very nice. Bicep swivel, you have your double jointed. Ooh, that second one is tough. Double jointed elbow, very nice. And then I mentioned the hands, they all hinge horizontally in and out, and they rotate in there. Crunch forward, ooh, look at that crunch. Lots of forward and tons of back, and then you do start to see some gapping in there, so that's, you know, our action figure stuff. Kicking forward, so she's gonna need to do a lot of kicking. It's about as much as she goes. I don't know if she has drop down hips, doesn't seem like it, unless I'm blind, but yeah, it doesn't seem like they're drop down hips. Well, she can kick out about that much. You have your upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. You have boot swivel, that's very nice. Feet go back, forward, and then ankle pivot. Yeah, I don't know about the. Yeah, I don't see any sort of hinge in there. So my guess is she has no drop down hip. So a bit disappointing on the kicking up. I mean, she does have very big thighs, but maybe you can make it work. There you go. You can really push it a lot to get a higher kick. But yeah, it would have been great if there was some sort of drop down hip or maybe a little bit more clearance in there. I don't know how they would have been able to do that. But yeah, articulation is fantastic. And details wise, I mean, some of these characters are very basic in design and they don't have a lot of detail going on. But just to get a closer look, you have this sort of red triangle here, painted nicely. I mentioned the crack on the boob or chest. You have these gauntlets here for the forearms with some sculpt in them, but not much paint, just red paint. You have the camo going in front of the legs there, pretty nice. the boots sculpted nicely. You have this sort of lace up here, and then you have the hair with the little ties at the end of them, looking pretty cool. You have the head sculpt here, and I'm just gonna move camera up a little bit. We can zoom in. You have the scar, her eyes, that mouth. I wish you would have had a more neutral expression, I guess you could say, rather than this sort of like pumped up look, but it's fine. It's part of the character. You know, that's the face she makes when she's ready to fight. So yeah, the cap looks fine. There isn't much I can comment on that, but yeah, she looks great, and for the most part I'm liking what I'm seeing with the articulation. So if we want to, hold on, let's give this a head swap, and there's a ball joint in case you're curious, and she does have the other ball joint down here. I thought it didn't, but it does, and there's that is. So this is very cool. Let's see if we can pose her real quick. Yeah, that looks cool. Let's see, put this into her foot. Which way? This way. There we go. And yeah, that looks see, the simple poses sometimes are just amazing, and then you put those to sort of simulate the motion, and there you go. A nice simple little pose. Looks great. But yeah, I think that mostly does it for my review. Quick look at the Cammy figure from the Street Fighter from excuse me, from JadaToys. Phenomenal figure. I like it. Like what they're doing with this line. There is some sort of like there's like some slight difference or some sort of shading going on. I'm not sure how well that's gonna look. I don't think it's gonna pick it up too well, but there's some slight shading in some of the musculature, like very light pinkish tone. It's, again, very hard to notice, but yeah. Oh god, looking at it closer back here, there is a lot of messiness with the paint. I don't know what's going on there. There's another crack there, so it's not as clean on the back. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what to say. I mean, there's gonna be cutesy issues, of course, but oh my goodness, just looking at all this sort of crackling, I don't know what's happening there. There's also some shading here, like some black there, across the chest too, so it's very cool. There's some shading to it. But yeah, if there's all this cracking and stuff, and the paint back here isn't the greatest, so I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if mine's just that defective, but I still like it, and from a distance you can't really notice that many of those nitpicks other than the breast one. But yeah, you know, I was about to end the video, but then I noticed all these little imperfections. But now officially, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in a future video.